There's something you need to understand, because this is where a lot of people get it wrong. A lot of people get it wrong. See, you think you're lonely. You think you're lonely, but you ain't. You ain't. You're in solitude. And those things might look and sound the same, but they feel completely different on the inside. They feel completely different on the inside. Loneliness feels empty. Loneliness feels empty. It feels like something is missing. It feels like being disconnected. It feels like no one understands you, right? Loneliness feels like you being left behind. It feels like you're being left behind, but solitude, solitude feels full. Even in silence, there's something present. Even in silence, there's something alive. Even in silence, there is something with you. That's solitude. And the problem is, you've been taught to fear being alone. You've been taught to fear being alone. So the moment life removes all the distractions, the moment people fall away, the moment things get quiet, you assume that something is wrong. You assume that something is going wrong. So you start reaching. You start reaching. You start trying to fill in the spaces. You go back to old conversations. You go back to your old habits. You go back to old versions of yourself just to avoid sitting in that silence. But that silence, that's where that's where everything begins. Everything begins in that silence. Everything begins in that stillness. There's there's a phase on this path where your life will get quieter. Where your life just gets quieter. And this is not because you're losing people, but it's because your energy is clearing. Your energy is clearing. You don't laugh at the same things anymore. You don't connect the same way anymore. You don't need the same validation anymore. And that creates distance. That creates distance, not rejection. It doesn't create rejection, it creates distance. And if you don't understand what's happening right now, you'll you'll mislabel it. You'll mislabel it as loneliness. But it's not loneliness. You think, why does it feel like I'm alone in this? Why does it feel like I'm all alone in this? But what's really happening is you're being pulled inward. You're being pulled inward because before you can fully connect or truly connect outward, you need to connect inward. You need to reconnect inward. And that requires space. It requires silence. It requires moments where it's just you, your thoughts, your energy, your truth. No noise, no no influence, no distractions. Just you. Just you. And most people never stay there long enough. Most people never stay there long enough to actually hear themselves, to actually hear what's going on the inside. So they escape. First chance they get, they escape. They call it staying connected. That's what they call it. They call it staying connected. I have to stay connected. but it's really avoidance. That's all it is. It's just avoidance because solitude will show you things. Solitude will show you things. It will show you what's no longer aligned. It will show you where you've been performing and not being authentic. It will show you the gaps between who you are and who you've been pretending to be. And that's uncomfortable. That's truly uncomfortable. But here's the shift. See, loneliness drains you. Loneliness drains you, but solitude restores you. Solitude restores you. Loneliness makes you feel like you're missing something. Solitude makes you realize that you've been overlooking yourself this whole time. You've been overlooking yourself this entire time. There's a version of you that only comes forward in silence, not in noise, not in crowds, not in constant conversation, in silence. In silence. That version of you is clearer. That version of you is more grounded. That version of you is more honest. But you don't meet that version if you keep going back to the distractions. If you keep going back to the distractions, you'll never meet that version. You will never meet that version. So if your life feels quieter right now, if your circle feels much smaller, if you're spending more time alone than you used to, don't rush to fix it. Do not rush to fix it. Don't rush to fill in the gaps. Don't rush to fill in the gaps. Sit in it. Listen. Because what actually feels like loneliness might actually be the space your next version has been waiting for. It might be the space your next version has been waiting for. You're not isolated. You're not isolated. You're being prepared. You are being prepared. And if this is your type of frequency, like, subscribe, because this is Spirit of Pula, the Spirit of Rain. Pula is the name.